Alright, here is where we are at.
You cut off there. What were you gonna say?
Alright, here's where we at. So we've been vibe coding and building some other stuff for the last couple of weeks. So the bots are actually running live at the moment, right? The bots are running live. So I am taking a different spin and I am working on a local trading project. So let me first show you what that actually is. So this here is the local stock exchange. So this is the stock exchange that we have in Trinidad and Tobago, right? There is no real charting platform. It is absolute garbage, like absolute garbage. So, and this was the main reason I didn't start trading locally. Yeah, so this is the main reason I didn't start trading locally. So I decided that if I want to do this, why not start from scratch and build my own charting software for the local stock market. There are some challenges because we don't have any available APIs from the company itself. I called them today to find out. So there is no actual API that we could use to connect to in order to get this done. So we have to do a major workaround. But I thinking that this would help individuals who wants to trade locally and just wasn't able to do proper charting with this thing that they offer. So you could see the limitations of the software itself. If we go to candlestick, and this is how it looks. This is like absolute rubbish, right? This is absolute rubbish. So yeah, this is the limitation. This is what we have locally, and the idea is to see if we could build our own charting software that you could do analysis on, and then you go to the actual exchange and you make your trades. So that is the thought. Right, so this is where we starting at. We are at ground zero and we are about to try to get this done. So let me just jump out of this. Now I do have an idea how we are going to work around that whole API connection to get data. We did play around with something just now and got it to work. So this is where we at. So I am building with Claude, obviously, which is like the main builder right now. So yeah, this is where we at. The Trinidad stock exchange. I mean, it is good for locals, especially those who don't have access to buying stocks internationally. It's just that what we have to work with is very limited. You can't do any sort of technical analysis, or anything like that. Now it does have historical data, so you could go here and under CSV you could pull up like 20 years, 21 years of data. So this goes all the way back to 2005. So you could pull all the data per instrument. So this is what we have to work with and try to see how we get things going. If you want to get a hold of me, you could join the Discord link below. Shoot me a message. Let me know your thoughts. Right, so we're going to try to mock up the actual the look and feel of the site first. Once we get that done, then we could start adding toolbars and all the indicators and stuff. Let me just download a piece of data that we could use as base charting data. So AGL, do we have any price movements today? And this website is slow. My goodness, like this is so slow. All right. So there hasn't been a lot of movement either. Let's do Massey. All right, so Massey loaded. We have data for up to today, so I'll download the CSV, and what we'll do is we will all right, so Massey loaded. We have data for up to today, so I'll download the CSV, and what we'll do is we will all right, so what we do is just start with this Massey data and use it for now. Alright, so let us compare this to what. Let's look at the Massey chart. Alright, so the chart is actually accurate. Massey was up to $105 a share, then it dropped all the way to 5. Why? I don't know. But that is where we were at. So we were at $105 and then we drop all the way to $5. So the chart is working, right? So we have the chart in here being plotted. Now each one of these bars is 1 day because we could get the data from 1 day bars. So let me, you know what? Let me put myself in a, let me put myself here. Right. So we have this side of it working. So let's see, we could go to 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, all time, 1 month. All right. So this does look pretty good. You could see the current share price and the change from the last day. So this is a better start. All right, so All right, so we have the Massey chart, and we could actually see the daily candlesticks properly. And let's say we have some indicators here, so now we could use the exponential moving average. We say a 200 period moving average on close, and give it an orangey color. Let's add it, and we have the chart. So at the moment we are loading actual well, we're not loading actual data. This is a CSV data file from the actual Trinidad Stock Exchange. So we have a proper chart that we could look at compared to what the actual exchange gives you, which is this garbage. So now we could actually use this chart in order to do like some proper charting to figure out what's going on with the market. So the next step is to add more indicators. And then right, so let's see, at the moment we have the Bollinger Band. We need to add a couple more charts, a couple more indicators to this list in order to get this to be fully functional. But we could keep adding indicators. Let me add 55 on close, and right, so we could definitely plot data now and do proper analysis before buying stocks locally. At least this is the goal. Now obviously this isn't real-time live data because I could only pull the CSV at the end of the day when they update the CSV file on the website. So when they update the CSV file at the end of the website, then we could pull the data, pass it out, and load it onto the chart. Right. So this works. Right. So what we need to do next is we currently have the daily time frame, but let us be able to pass the data and create a weekly time frame and a monthly time frame. So we'll do that once we add some more indicators to it. Right, so what we have now is we could go from the daily time frame to the weekly time frame to the monthly time frame. So this is a good place to start. All right, so now we could switch between time frames: daily, weekly, monthly. We could add a couple indicators. Next step would be to add some drawing tools so we can actually draw on the chart. All right, so what we're doing is we're using Claude in order to build a charting platform for the Trinidad Stock Exchange, which at the moment there is, I mean, they have a charting platform, but the charting platform is garbage. You can't do actual proper technical analysis on it. So trading becomes very hit and miss, I believe. So by building this now, you could sit down and you could do some analysis on the daily time frame and then make decisions based on that. Because there is no intraday data and we are pulling data directly from the website via CSV, we are trading from the daily time frame go up. Let's line this up and take a look at it. Right, so the 11th is 1/6. This is real strange because the actual CSV data looks a bit different from what they have on site, because if we look at the 12th says the opening price was 344 and the close price was 342, which I have the opening price as 344 and the close price as 343. But if we go to the chart, open, high, low, close, the 12th says 349 and close at 343. So it seems that their chart actually shows a something different from the actual CSV data, which in itself is a bit troubling. So we see where we at. us see if this works now. So at the moment, we can't click to change symbols. So the plan is we direct our CSV folder on the computer with all the CSVs in it. And then we could just click the name and be able to load a CSV into the candlestick chart itself. So we'll be able to get the data for that day. Hopefully. Forget we're doing this off the browser, we're not doing this as an electron. So we need to find a workaround for this problem. We need a workaround for this problem. I do have a problem with this approach. I do have a problem with this approach. Alright, so here's my problem with this approach. We will need to load this when we load the page. Could we approach this as doing a dynamic web page where when the page loads, we pull the CSV data. We have the basic page as a template. We pull the CSV data for the selected symbol and create a dynamic page. Then if we select another symbol, it loads it as a separate page completely, and we pull that CSV dynamic as if we're doing a dynamic web page. Would that work?
Hey, I've lost the thread on this.
How
Long come.
the hell we could lose the thread on this? I find we losing the thread on this a lot. I think Claude having some bugs because we keep losing the conversation. So we need to set up the file structure now in order to get this working. So we have the TTPS, we have the data folder. But it's not running on my VPS. All right. Would it close? All right, so it closed because the window is closed. Let's try this again. Ah, we have action. Niceness, niceness, niceness. All right. So let me see if I drop some more files we have so far. We have AHL, AMCL, question, should I leave it as TTSE? You know what, let me leave it and see what happens. This is cool. So we could do proper charting now for Trinidad stocks. All right, next step to build is I need RSI. The moving average we have stochastic and RSI. So this works. So the next thing we need to do is build the scraper. So oh, this is taking so long to add the RSI, man. Alright, so once the RSI is added, the next thing we need to do is update the scanner itself. So Cannot reach. Alright, that is not important. Alright, so the next thing is we need to get the scraper built in order to go and download all these CSV files for all companies here. Now I believe it's supposed to have more companies than this, but I don't know why it is so little. Alright, so so if we go in and test the scraper fully, the scraper just need to pull the CSV alone. Alright, so we need to test this to see if this works. So we'll delete all these files, go back here, and we will run the scraper and see what happens. So new terminal, Right, so we're having a problem with the scraper. Don't let police come. Try right now anything possible, yes? Why are we having this problem? Yeah, we have a problem. We're still hitting something and can't find the history tab. What is the site you are looking at? Yeah, we're still hitting something. Not finding the history tab. Ah, that is the problem. That is the problem. Please what? The police ain't gonna come, man. The police not coming. I'm not doing nothing for the police to come. I just rebuilding a trading chart so I could use it to trade stocks in Trinidad. Nothing for the police. Alright, once we get this scanner to work, this scraper to work, we should be in a gear. Noodles and pigtail. Where are you? Alright, let us try this again. Let us try this again. Ah. Alright, click the CSV button now. Rotted. There you go. There you go. New page load. Dismiss. Dismiss again. Click history. Click the CSV button. Alright, so this is working. Where we are at, what this means is that the scanner or the scraper could go and go onto the website, load the page, dismiss the pop-ups, click on the history tab here to get to the history, then download the CSV, which is this button here, and then the CSV will download to this file. So this should be a GHL appearing here soon. GHL, and then it loads the next page and it just runs through. So once a day it will find all the data here and then automatically run through and download all the CSV. So once the CSV is downloaded, then I simply just load the chart and get all the up-to-date data so I can do proper analysis in order to trade local stocks. Now in this test we just had like just a few symbols to load. Now I need to go in and add all. SBTT. We should get SBTT loaded in here. Boom, there you have it. That's all. So let me check the scanner file. The scanner file has, right, so it had these symbols here, which are 5, and we have 5 CSV loaded. So I just need to go and edit this and add the rest of symbols, and it will run through and scan and load everything. So as this loaded now, we should be able to go click on this and it will be able to go in and load these instruments so we can do analysis and trade on it. Routed. Cool. We're making progress. Our first citizen back trading at $36. 15 bucks. Niceness. All right, so so this is pretty cool. We close this and I need to go and right, so this time it works. So instead of me going and manually editing all of those, reopen, close, right, so let me go back. All right, so LJWA. Right, let me see how the RSI works. RSI of 2, the high of 795, and the low of 5. It does work. to update the server, and we need to update the scraper. Alright, so let's run a full scrape now. A full scrape of the entire data set and see if it will update as well. And we are chugging away. Okay, so we're running, we loading. We didn't load all though. Right, let me do one full prepper run and see what happens. All right, let us see if it runs through and it gathers everything. I need to fix this. I need to fix this. All right, so if what on screen don't make sense, I'm gonna break it down. So our local stock market in Trinidad local stock market in Trinidad looks like, actually, you know what, I don't need to log into the platform. TTSE. All right. So the local stock market in Trinidad looks like this more or less. And let me see if I could get now the indices. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let me pull it from right here. Right, our local stock market looks like this. This is Trinidad and Tobago. So when you go to the platform and you go to charts, this is what we see. Basically, not too usable garbage, right? An actual proper charting platform looks like this, where you could actually get data and read it and then do analysis and stuff. You can't add any indicators here. You can't do any technical analysis or anything like that. So to combat that, I built this. It scans the website, and what this is doing here is actually automatically going to the website, loading each one of these symbols here. And what you do is load the symbol. When the symbol loads for that particular company, it is automatically waiting. Well, it has some pop-ups with ads or whatever it is the stock market has. It is closing the ads, then it is coming down here, clicking on history, downloading a CSV, and the CSV comes in here and loads like this. When it loads the CSV now, that is this side of stuff, then what we do is we have the server that would run, and when we click and run the server, it actually launches this site, which is a custom built site that now takes that CSV data and loads it here, so I could actually run through it and do an analysis of the different companies, like a proper chart, not this garbage that they give you here. So now I could come and add like a moving average, like you see a 200 period moving average, and then I could come and add a 55 exponential, and now we could actually look at the data on the chart and make it make sense. Add a RSI, you know, I just use RSI of 2 with, I say 90 and 10, and load that on the chart as well. So now we have RSI data, and we could actually come and do some technical analysis on the chart and decide where to buy and sell, which makes things a lot easier. And then we just run through and, you know, load all the symbols. And because this data is put out on a daily basis, we just run the scanner on a daily basis. The scanner will do this magic here, and you can see it populating everything inside of this folder automatically, and then just load it and run it. So this is what we're doing. Yeah, so that is it. So right now we just kind of scanning through to download all the 21 years of historical data from each one of these companies, or how many years they actually have on the stock exchange. So we just running through one company at a time and downloading everything. Right now we at MPCC, which is here, Caribbean Clean Energy. So you can see it loads the site, then it waits for the pop-up and it goes through a loop, Then it dismisses the pop-up, closing the pop-up itself, and then it clicking on the history tab, and then clicking on the CSV to download it. So, and then once that's done, it saves it. So it saved NEL, which is, where is it? NEL, and then it goes to the next company, NFM. So if the TTSE doesn't provide proper data for people to trade on, build your own. So once this is done, we are at NFM, National Flour Mills. So we are right here, and we have the rest of this to run through in order to download all these CSV files. And this was the reason I never trade on Trinidad Stock Exchange. Like, why you would give, you want people to trade local stocks, but why would you give us this as a trading platform? Like why you would do this? Why you would do this garbage as a trading platform for people to use? Like, even if you go to full screen mode, it's still rubbish. It is still rubbish. You're looking at like the charts, the stick candlesticks aren't even displayed properly. There's no way the low is going to be $0 for the day. Like, no way. So we see what the energy company is doing. What was it? What was the clean energy company? MPC. Let me see what that look like. Was it MPC? I mean, come on, man. All right, MPC, clean energy. The chart. Look at this chart. Like, what are we supposed to do with this? Oh goodness. Massy. And you see how long this taking to load as well. Like, look how long it's taking to go from one symbol to the next. So we're on Massy right now. If we try to load GHL, still waiting for GHL to load. Still waiting. There you go. Alright, let us see now. I mean, we're still downloading data here, but let us see how quick this moves. We load the server, boom, website loads, and we go from one symbol, we go and we load back Massy now, and Massy loads. Like, come on, man. Alright, GHL, quick. So now we could actually do proper technical analysis with all these symbols. The scraper would run once a day, pull all the CSV data, overwrite all the new information, or overwrite the last day's data, create a new bar, and then we have everything in order to look at the market and see how much we had movement. And to be 100% honest, without this chart, I would have never known that the local market moved this much. Like, I thought it was way less than this. And that was because I didn't have a proper tool to visualize it. So this is what Prestige Holdings. Prestige Holdings doesn't look like a bad buy because for the last what? If we go on the weekly time frame, the market has been up, like up, serious uptrend. And this is $12 if you buy 100 shares of that. You spend what, $1,200 and we move up. We could hit 14 easy. Like $2 a share, and the sizes of these candles, this could be like done within a week or two. It's a $200 gain right there. I did not know. Right, where are we at? We are at LJWA. LJWA. Right, so apart from this, now what I need next is I need to go back to here. This is coffee or we're playing with. Right, now this one. CIF, we are almost done. Just a couple more, probably one more. And that is it. So all 39 symbols, get all the data for all 39 symbols last 21 years or whatever the company are wrong. So we just run the server now, and it loads all the data for all those companies on the Trinidad Stock Exchange with a proper chart that we could actually look at and analyze. So this is a good place to start. So what I need to do is I need to rebuild one of my portfolio trackers. Python. How can't I find this thing? Yeah, I just needed to build something different in order to be able to trade on our stock exchange, because what they were giving us is utter garbage. Utter garbage. That was the reason that I never traded local stocks, and to be honest, I couldn't even tell how much it was actually moving. It's a good thing I built this afternoon. So what I am looking for is I need to build or update my dashboard in order to build a portfolio analyzer. Because I called the TTSE office to find out if I could connect our API, so similar to like how I trade here, or like if you look at my other stream, like this is my actual bot trading live right now. This is my other bot trading live, but they told me I can't connect to any API. So each one of these is a different bot, and each bot has 3 strategies attached to it. And this is how I scan and come up with new strategies. But they told me we have no API locally that I could connect to, so I was out of luck there. But I know the website has this piece of information where you could come here on history and download the CSV data, so I decided to just scrape all of that. I can't find what I'm looking for now. Dashboard index. Oh, come on, man. Which agent did I build that with? not this. I can't find what I'm looking for. On dashboard, P2. Can't be serious. Cool. Angostini, $60 a share. You can imagine if you had buy this stock here at $120. You buy this at $120, it rallied, it reached $104, and then overnight it just dropped to $36. That is sickening. And then after that drop, it run all the way down to $2. That is crazy. I think for you to get a heart attack for. That is hurtful. Alright, so we set up a temporary SQLite database. Save, watch list, and then we can load it on chat load. So no Trinidad and Tobago. Get the watch list, yeah. I will not buy this anytime. Will not buy that either. Will not buy that either. Can probably look at this and see what happened. If we break out, come back, retest this point, and push to here, that could be a good buy. buy that one. Let's see if this actually works now. Get rid of this and I load it back through the server. Oh, let me see. Alright, do a push notification back in. What we said we are looking at, we're looking at answer. We could add to wish list, add, and we want a price of, we want the market to break, we add 47.50. Save. Alright, so we need to fix that. We are having HTML 501 error. Buggy. Alright, we need to download this index file. Trading, inflection, index. See if this works. So now what we should be able to do is, let us say in the event we, let me just sort this out by the time. Right, if for shits and giggles we said we are buying the TTSE, say we buy 20 at a price of 45 today at buy. So we could actually track the position now, and we update. So all right, so if in the future, let's say tomorrow, it goes to 27 47, and we update. So the portfolio tracker is working. Cool. Cool. Cool beans. Oh, so I could click on the portfolio tracker. We have 20 shares at this price. It went up to that. We bought 20 at 45, so that's 900, and we could actually sell it now. Cool. Right, so this is working. So at least now I would be able to track positions here. And let's see. Alright, let me try this again and see if we could get this thing to save. So again, try this again. Ah, so we have it saved. It did actually save as a SQLite file. Cool beans. So let me try to save it manually now. Add a wish list at $48. Save. Yes, it is. So we have a functional wish list. All right, Leanne, you there? Let me run through it if you're there. I will try to make it make sense. All right, so starting from the beginning, the idea is to trade local stocks. Now, normally we would trade currencies online, stocks online, but because we are currently we can't connect to a lot of platform between because our regulatory issues in Trinidad, we can't use a lot of the online platforms. We have this platform, which is the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange, right? So their trading platform is top. Now, the reason I never trade with it is a big part of trading is doing technical analysis if you are not someone who trades fundamental based on news and that type of stuff. So for technical analysis, we look at the chart, we apply indicators, we figure out what the market is going to do. This platform here itself doesn't allow you to do that. It's just a simple chart. However, what they do is on a daily basis, you could go to history and you could see here, this is what the symbol or the company did for that day. So what the opening price was, what the closing price was. Unfortunately, we don't have high and low. So they just have open, close, the percentage change, and so on. So my thought was, if I could get this information, which is a CSV file, and the CSV data looks like, so the CSV data for a company looks like this, right? This is a bad company because they didn't have any set of action. So all right, so this is Massey, right? So this is what, if you download that CSV, this is what you get, right? You get basically this, and you get like 5,000 something columns of this information here. So the idea was, take this information and process it in a way that it would create a chart like this that you could read and understand. And that is where this came in. So I built this really quick, and what this does is, when it loads a server, and the server pulls from a file on my computer with all those CSV files in it, right? Which is, you notice this folder has all the CSV files in it, and this is all the daily action for that particular company for the life of the exchange. So it could be the last 20 years, and each one of these bar is equal to 1 day. So you notice like this green bar, it opened at the bottom here at $40 and it closed at $45 on the 7th, right? Cool. So this chart was created from that CSV data, and all that these are all the companies on the exchange. Now for me to get this information, what I did was built a scraper first, and I could show you how the scraper works. All right, so what the scraper does is, if we come here, so this is the scraper, right? So every day, all I need to do, and I would fix it, I wouldn't need to do it, it would automatically run, basically run a Python terminal, and what this does is it slowly, well, you wouldn't see it here because it run in the background, but what it would do is it will open this chart for itself. It will go to each one of these companies individually. It would load the company. When it loads the company, it would close the ads that come up on the page. It would come, click on history, and then click on CSV and download the CSV and save it to this file automatically. So once all of the CSV data is in this file, I just need to come and run the server, and the server would load all this data for that new day into this platform here. And this is where you would watch now instead of this, and you could make trading decisions on this because you could read this easy. You could add like a moving average to it. There's a 20 period. Let me change that. I say add like a 200 period moving average. So you could say, well, if price below the line, I wouldn't buy it, but when price crosses above the line, I would buy it. More or less, right? So now you could actually do technical analysis on this and make decisions on what to trade. The only problem is this is daily information, so it doesn't have like intraday movement like the 15-minute, but this makes life easy now because instead of sitting down and looking at it all day, you could just get all the data to load, and in the afternoon you just come and you make a decision what you want to buy, what you want to sell. You could go through all of these companies. If there's a company like, for example, Answer here, this is like potentially could be going back up. If we look at it all time, I mean, it could be making a rally. If it break above here, it could rally, so it might be a company that you want to buy. So the wish list now, you could say, well, if the price reaches to $48, which is up here, this wish list here would notify me that the company reached above the level, and now you could trade it. So it's just a way to be able to actually make a decision on which stocks you want to buy instead of looking at this and not getting any kind of information and just guessing. And then the other thing that I built was this. So what this does now on the portfolio, you could say, well, if we go in and buy a company and we come here and we say that we want to buy, let's say we want to buy JMMB, right? You want to buy JMMB because you feel JMMB going and go up. So you could come here now on this and you could say, well, add a new position, JMMB B, and this is the company is JMMB Group, and the share price is 84 cents. right? So the share price is 0.84 and you want to buy 100 shares, right? So at 100 shares, you're spending $84. So you could come down, you could say buy. So you could see it, added it. You buy JMMB Group, 100 shares, $48, 48 cents. The last price is 48 cents. You spend $48. Cool. Then let me say next week the price go up to 90 cents, right? And yeah, update it. Sorry, I need to update the date to next week. Let me say next week on the 20th, it go up to 90 cents. So now it would say, well, we buy it at 80 cents, the last price is 90 cents, and we made a profit at $6, right? Which is a 7% increase. And then you could track it like that now. And then when you're ready to sell it, you could just come and click there. You want to sell the position, you sell the position, and then that would, check as profit. So that is with the portfolio tracker itself coming now. Check that. So now you could sit down, do analysis, make a wish list, and say, well, all right, we want to buy 20 companies, and some companies might be dividend stocks, and other companies might just be stocks that you want to buy and hold for a week or a month. You'll be able to track it here. And then like where the dollar cost averaging come in now is, let's say for example, find a good company that doing that. What is a good company? Guardian? Nope. National Flour Mills? Right, let me say with National Flour Mills, right? So for example, you're looking at National Flour Mills here. This might be a good place to buy because the market was rallying, it pulled back, right? It finds support here, it went up, it come back, it finds support here, it went up, it come back, and it at a place of support. So if the market start to push up now, then you take a position and you probably close it. At the moment we are kind of in a downtrend, so we are trending like this. So you can say we buy the position here and we close it if we get to this point, about $2. You exit. A good example, I saw one just now. Let me see, First Citizens. All right, First Citizens might be a nice one as well. So with the dollar cost averaging thing is, let's say you buy, like you was going to buy the position here. This was May last year, and you enter that position here. Well, you wouldn't buy this because this is $41, so you wouldn't dollar cost average that much into it. You want to find something kind of low. You buy a position here, and then you say, well, if the price goes down every month, I'm going to buy X amount. So the next month you buy here, and then the next month you buy here. What that will do is, if you buy, like you say you buy 10 shares here, you basically spend $420, right? And then you buy 10 shares here, you actually spend 300 and whatever that number is here, $380. And then you buy 10 shares here, that is $333. So how that would work out now, it would be all these numbers added. Your actual share price would be 333 plus 380 plus 400 and let me say 20. So we are 1000 divided by 30. So your actual price for buying this is about here. So even though you buy quite up here, anytime this market crosses this line, you're actually in profit. So that is where the dollar cost averaging comes in when you're buying and holding stocks. but it really only recommended to do that if the company is, you know, a good company. Somebody is moving plenty, boy. I would have never thought. From $2.50 in January to $9 with a high of $12.96. That's crazy. That is crazy movement. All right, so a lot was done on this stream tonight. What company is this? This is Trinidad and Tobago NGL. Yeah, NGL. NGL is. Oh, yeah, I listed as here. That might be. NGL. See how long it's taking to load? It just say NGL Limited. Where's NGL Limited here? What is this? I don't even know. Or dividend. Oh. Or natural gas. Incorporated. The natural gas company at Trinidad and Tobago, right? NGC. What is NGL? But they look like they had dividend stocks apparently. So that is the next thing to research and find out. The list of dividend stock companies. NCB Financial Group. Like you see this is an insane stock to buy if it actually starts a rally. Like if you do the research on this, and this is NCB Financial Group. If this rally right now, this stock is $2.48. The high of the stock was $11. You're not even checking if it get back to 11. If this get to $4, that is double whatever you're invested in. But it's something you have to be careful of, because if you had buy it like up here then it start to fall, like, you know, there is plenty drawdown that you're in. So this is where the taking time and actually doing a lot of analysis on the company itself will come in. $8.30. $8.30. If you get back to this point, that make a 70 cents move. 70 cents move, you buy 100 shares in it. You spend $830. If you get to this point, you make $70. slowly grinding your way up. Calypso. Like you see this company dead. This company didn't move for. This company did not move since 2023. It's just at $27. So you're not looking for companies like that that not moving. Like that either. There are a lot of dead companies on the local stock exchange, boy. Jesus. Can do is set up an agent now to actually go and research these company and come up with 3 points why the companies are good company, 3 points why the companies are bad company. Let it argue amongst itself and then make a decision on if the companies are good company to buy. So that would be like the next step. Citizens group. Is one of these companies you could look for quick bounce. So market rally, it went up, come back to support, bounce off of support, come back, bounce off of support, bounce off of support, bounce off of support. If it bounce off of support here, you look for a small rally for like a little 20-cent rally. You're not aiming to get all the way up here. A quick 20-cent rally. You buy like $300, right? You buy 100 shares, look for a quick 20-cent rally. Couple days, get rid of it. Reese Kennedy. Will not buy that. Look at it, but not buy it. So this would be the next thing to do. Go and filter all the dead companies from the CSV. It don't make sense. It don't make sense scanning for all of these on a daily basis. I just wasting space. Wasting compute time. So what you do is you look for companies that not making any sense and you completely remove them out of the list. Keep that. This has not moved since October 2025. We are one large day and that is it. So this is ASB H6. So get rid of that. And get rid of it from the CSV as well. Cine 1. Get rid of this and get rid of this here as well. This is Clico Investment Fund. Why does Clico suffering so much? Clico Investment Fund D. CPFD. We don't need to rerun it. I need to rerun it. Right, where was I? This has not moved since 2023, so this is CIF. This is CIF. Get rid of that. CIF, get rid of that as well. Same thing here. Keep that. GMLP, Guardian Media Oh. Right. GMLP, get rid of that. GMMB group, stay. Let's see. I mean, you could keep this. Look for quick overnight bounces, which would kind of be hard, but get rid of this. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't bother with this. This is what MED. V. See how much dead companies it have in Trinidad. Like, why you even on the stock exchange? Your number's not even moving. Prestige Holders is a good company to buy and hold, you know. Them own everybody. Solace. I wouldn't bother with this. Right. So with that now, we are supposed to be down to a handful of companies that actually make sense to look at on a daily basis. So it would still have all the dead ones here. I just need to close this, and reload the server. And once I reload the server, we're supposed to just be down to the handful of good companies. So when the scan runs tomorrow, it will only pull those good companies and provide the data in order to filter through and see which company actually makes sense. So now as that done, the next step is to set up a research agent to research each one of the companies and find the good, the bad, the ugly, any underlying news, things that the company working on that might be coming out with figuring out who doing dividends. Actually, I did already do a breakdown of that, you know. I did a breakdown of that. I did a breakdown of that to see which companies actually have dividends here and what the dividend yield is and all of that good stuff. So now we could go back and reference this against the platform. So RFHL, they have dividend stocks. Market could be rallying, making a little run up. $107, 5% yield. So now you could actually reference this document back to this document, see which companies you could probably buy. You get all the prices here. So 1529, 1529, 5% quarterly, and then from there you make a decision on what to buy, what not to buy, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and build a portfolio on that. So I did get quite a bit done today. I think we'll be calling it there for the night. Probably pick up tomorrow, do some more analysis of this, and you know, see if we could come up with a plan to build a portfolio. So yeah, all right, cool, there you have it. I am out for the night. I am done. That would be the end of the stream. We got quite a bit done in 3 hours. Build the entire charting platform, have the scraper up and running, and already have the dividend breakdown. So tomorrow I would be setting up a dedicated agent to the research on each one of the companies, and from there they would come back and generate a report on why the company is good to buy or not, and we'll see from there. All right, all you have a good night. Leon, I'll chat to you in a bit. Later.